Yo, welcome back to the Destination Unknown Dude channel. Got a 2-year and 2-month update on the situation, retirement situation. I've been retired for 2 years and 2 months at this point, and just wanted to give an update on how it's going and how we're surviving and how we're making it, so you guys can maybe learn something. And it was an eye-opener for me when I looked at my finances. I knew we were doing okay. I knew we were doing good, but I didn't know we were doing that good. So as I've said before, and as you may remember, I've got a house in America that I rent out. And that gives me a little bit of money per month, but also cost me a little bit of money. Recently, the aircon went out, cost me a year's worth of rent, basically in one fell swoop. So that's a wash, plus taxes and all that other crap. So that's a wash. It's making me basically nothing. By the time you factor in that big repair, the taxes I pay, insurance, and all the bullshit that goes along with owning a home in America. But our primary funding source is the US stock market. And we started off living on dividends from JEPQ, from a portion of our nest egg is in JEPQ when we started. And we got a monthly income from that. And it's, you got to do your own research on those. It's a covered call dividend situation, which I think covered calls have changed the game on income in retirement. Before that, it was SCHD, which is a good ETF to put your money in to get an income, but that didn't come monthly, and it was at a lower rate, but it's more traditional. Anyways, back to the matter. First we started living on JEPQ, and then I switched it. I didn't like the date that the disbursements came. It was after the first of the month, and that sucks. So I wanted something at a different date, and I wanted something a little bit more aggressive, so I switched it to QQQI. And that one pays around the 25th of each month, which is nicer. I want to have that money on the first of the month, or available before the first of the month. So I switched that, started getting a little bit more per month from that because it pays out a little bit more. And it may or may not have better tax benefits. That remains to be seen. I got to feel that. But I am getting boned pretty hard by US taxes doing this. And if this continues, I might need to change my strategy to more living like someone that lives on loans. So like billionaires, they have such a low tax liability because they live on loans from their investments instead of the actual income from the investments. So I'm looking into that to see if that would work for me. I don't know. I don't like loans, but I also don't like taxes. But anyways, the crux of this is I looked at the finances, and after buying this piece of property and everything you see here, the motorbikes, the car, over the last 2 years, we showed up with suitcases to the Philippines. Suitcases and a couple balikbayan boxes was it. That's what we showed up with. So everything you see here was purchased within the last 2 years. Plants, the roof, the solar. The Kubo was already here when we bought it. The shitty house that needed a lot of work. The wall that you see, the car, the motorcycles, the dog that needed to go to the vet that's humping the ground right now. Look at that shit. Oh, that shit is funny. She's itching her belly. It's a girl, it's not a boy, so. That is funny. Get you some. Sorry, we're taking a little detour. I can't look away. It's like a car crash. That's Luna, authentic street dog look. She's super sweet, funny though. All right, anyway, so everything you see here was procured and put into place within the last 2 years. Lawnmowers, tools, everything. And yet our finances, after 2 years and 2 months living here and spending all this money on stuff and setting up shop, we are in the same exact position as we were when we retired. which means we got monthly dividends. We've spent down some of the principal at times. Obviously, to buy the house, we bought it with cash. We bought the car with cash. We bought the motorbikes with cash. We don't have any debt. Zero debt. I have zero debt in my name whatsoever. The house in the U.S. has no debt. Gene has a house in the Philippines that has no debt. We got no debt in this place. Zero. We don't have any debt whatsoever. And we are in the same position as we were when we started. So what we had when we started this retirement, we still have. This is due to gains in investments, and that's it. There has been no other infusions of money. That just means that I still own stocks, even though I'm retired, and the general consensus is when you retire, you get more conservative with your investments. I don't agree with that. And I've got 2 years of experience to show that you're missing out on gains if you go with bonds and other bull crap. Why would I do that? You keep a nest egg that's not in something else, but it doesn't have to be in bonds. But I got dividends. That's my nest egg. That's how I function. I got the dividends, so I don't need bonds. And guess what? My value on my dividends has also gone up because QQQI is not only paying dividends, but it's going up in value. And that could change at any moment. It's a stock market. But what I'm saying is put a plan together and let that plan include maybe the S&P 500 or maybe QQQ, which is NASDAQ, or you know, these tech stocks. There's no stopping the tech stocks. Just put that plan together and keep rolling with it, and you know, figure out your funding situation. Mine happens to be with covered call ETFs that pay dividends, but it could just as easily be invested my lump sum that I'm doing for dividends. I could easily have put it in QQQ and taken disbursements, sold some every month to support us. That would work too. That's a fine strategy. And if you've held it for a year, you pay taxes at a rate of 10% for any withdrawals, any sales. If you hold it for less than a year, then you're paying like income tax up to 35%. So keep that in mind. If you're planning on pulling the plug and retiring, go ahead and buy the ETF that is going to support you. If you're going to live on sales of stocks, go ahead and buy that so you're holding it for a year, and then any sales you make from that ETF is taxed at a lower rate. That would be my advice for that. I like the ETFs paying monthly. That puts me on a budget. I've got whatever I get per month, and then I got that to stick to. But I get no other funding sources to make this dream happen. That's it. And after 2 years, we've got just as much as we started with. Okay, so that tells you that we've spent probably $200,000 here getting this thing going. So that tells you that I've missed out on $200,000 worth of gains. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We're holding steady and we're doing fine. We're not necessarily making gains, but we don't need to make gains. We need to keep our principal, and that's the goal, is you spend the dividends and you keep the principal. You don't ever touch the principal. And if we can keep that going, they can't touch us. And that assumes that the stock market does fine and the real estate market does fine and yada, 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 all that stuff, all right? And that also puts a value on this place, okay? So when we bought this, it wasn't just a wash. That money just didn't disappear, okay? This becomes part of my net worth, okay? Part of our net worth. So this has a value too, okay? So it isn't like we bought this thing and we wiped out that money. This is an investment, just like everything else that you buy that has value. So this one got put right on our bottom line. This place got put right on our bottom line, and it may even have appreciated in value from the time we bought it. I certainly would not sell it for what we bought it for. So there you go. There you go. So I've currently got us, its value is what we paid for it. But since I wouldn't sell it for that, Maybe I need to plus that up. So if I plus that up, then my net worth is actually higher now than what we started when we started this two years and 2 months ago. So keep that in mind. Just food for thought. It's not the end of the world if you can, if you've got a nest egg and you can maintain your spending, keep your spending under control within reason. This is a lot of spending. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of spending here that's happened. But you can keep it under control, keep a budget. Don't buy the Taj Mahal. I'm certainly not living in the Taj Mahal, okay? This place sucks. This place sucks. This isn't where we want to be. This isn't what we want to be living in. But right out there, you've already seen the house plans. If you haven't seen the house plans yet, go look at that video. Go look up that video of the house underneath the steel roof, okay? That's going to happen at some point, and it's not going to suck. So we just hang in there. Don't be stupid. You know, we got the shit. We got a house. We got a roof over our head. It doesn't flood. We're doing fine. And in the next 2 years, it could change. We could have a house out there. Or we could pick up stakes and move on to something else. We sell this bitch for twice what we paid for it, and we're Audi 5000. All right, y'all. There's your 2 year and 2 month update. I hope that clarifies our situation. Maybe motivates you to get something going. Feel free to bust some comments and questions in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more live action. Live action of the puppy humping the grass out here on the Destination Unknown Dude channel. See you.